Do you feel the need for speed? Are you a person that likes to go fast?
No, I am not.
No, I'm really not either. I don't really like to go very fast.
I mean, I'm the kind of person on the highway that if I'm going 85, 90, I say it every time to whoever I'm in the car with. The commonplace phrase of, "Oh, I didn't realize I was going that fast." Like,
I like to get where I'm going, and I like to do things quickly and efficiently, but I don't really feel the need for speed in anything that I do. Like, I like to go snowboarding, and the blues are about as high up as I really want to go. Like, no, I'm okay.
if someone were to offer me an opportunity to be in an F1 car or say, one of those boats like the racing boats, speed boats, I wouldn't turn it down. But I don't know, I don't yearn for it, but I love watching other people do it.
No, I don't. I would certainly take it and see what the experience was like, but I wouldn't want to do it. I generally don't like to put myself in risky situations.
Meanwhile, every time I do anything that involves even an nth of anything, I hurt myself. So knowing my luck, I would crash and die, or the boat would sink, something to that.
Yeah,
matter.
you are generally a catastrophe waiting to happen. But wait, okay, if you're driving on the highway, how fast are you going before you're like, ooh, going a little fast here. Probably should slow down. You're talking interstate, not rush hour, normal traffic conditions. Like, oh, I might be going a little fast.
I mean, I don't actually, because I drive. I'm the guy in the right two lanes. So in Michigan, and I could be wrong because I don't know the other speed laws across the country, but I think our interstate speed limit is 10 miles an hour higher than others. So
what's your speed limit?
It's like 70 or 70. Well, it's definitely 70 like where I live in the metro area, but I think it's 75 once you get to the outskirts, which means people are doing 80, 85, just like it's nothing.
I generally sit about 7 to 8 miles an hour over the speed limit. But I've been in some parts of the country where the speed limit was 85, I think, in parts of Texas.
80.
Yeah,
well,
and I was like, I don't know if I need to be going like 94. I think that's fast enough. Yeah, I'm not going to push it past. I'm not going to push it into the 90s.
I spent some time on the west side of Michigan when I was younger, backcountry roads. And even then, where I know there was nothing there, I still couldn't do it. Like, I would still go 50, 60, even though there was no posted speed limit. Like, I don't know. Have you ever hit a deer? Have you ever hit, like, an animal or a person?
No, I've never hit anything. I mean, I've gotten into a car crash 3 times, maybe twice. I can't quite remember. Twice. No, 3 times. 3 times I've been in a car crash, but all pretty low speeds.
Well, I can tell you from having hit 3 deers in my life, and anyone out there that's listening to this can probably agree with me on this. It's probably one of the most scariest things, besides getting in a super serious accident, that you can go through. Because it's so fast, and a lot of times they can total your car, or blah, blah, blah. It's just, yeah. So anyways, getting back to what we're talking about, that's another reason why I don't go crazy speeds, is like I try to give myself, or at least I think I try to give myself, enough time to react to what could happen.
How have you hit 3 deer? Like, I feel like that's the kind of thing that should only happen to you once. Maybe you're just unlucky, but I also feel like if it's happened 3 times, we're starting to get into user error.
Well, nobody wants to hear these stories, so I'm not going to tell you. But I will say 2 points to that. One, I hit 2 within 3 months of each other.
Okay.
And it was always in all of our hunting friends out there. It was always during hunting season when they were moving around. So they're active, right? Like they know where the safe zones are, so they're trying to get to them. And
how ironic that they got hit by a car trying to get to the safe zone.
There was one instance. I feel like I have to spend. It'll be 30 seconds, I swear. I was dating a girl on the west side of Michigan. I had to drive 3 hours back to the Detroit area to work. It was probably 3 a.m. I was already late for work, and I kind of fell asleep, and the impact woke me up.
Okay, now we're getting to it.
And poof, Like, I'm pretty sure it was a deer. If it wasn't, I apologize to whoever I killed out there. But all I saw was just like, woke up, went to work. About 2 hours later, the news director comes up to me and she's like, John, what happened to your car? The deer had taken off the complete front end of my truck. Like it was down to the radiator. Like that's the first thing that was showing. So
you
after
went
that,
to work with a bloody deer on the front of your car?
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't bloody. There was blood and hair in there, but like it was. I mean, I disintegrated it. But like I don't really remember it because I was nodding off. You know how you're driving and you kind of nod off and.
No, I don't know. No,
crack it?
I don't. I don't.
Well, anyways,
I'm not having experience falling asleep while driving that often.
Yeah,
it's not like a thing that I do. God, you're irresponsible. You're the most irresponsible person.
I was. And then that was the worst of them all. And then I hit 2 other deer, after that. And yeah, so.
Man.
Anyways, getting back to the speed limit thing, I just try to drive now safely. We have an EV, so I also try to be mindful of that. I try because you don't want to. If you go too fast for too long, it'll burn drain the battery. Obviously, if you go posted speeds. So,
wow, God, look what you've become. You went from a guy that was falling asleep on the road, running over deer, and then going to work, to a guy who's too afraid to keep his EV moving too fast because he doesn't want to hurt the battery. Like that's what you've become.
Tell me about it. Trust me, I know.
You went from here to there. Like you are a man physically, but you have grown other anatomy, right? Like you have turned. Look at you. What a.
I got nothing.
How far are you fallen? Okay.
All right. Let's give some shout outs here. We'll start with Nathan Dim, Jeff Baird,
Nathan. It's tough. It's tough.
Jason LeBlanc, Aaron Quaison, Ash Maroka, Jason Hebdon, Mariah Nezlalanik, Don Satsop, Bryce Betts, Lauren Keckley, and we'll end on one of our favorite people who I see always pop up, Tessa Gruelli. See her, she likes a lot of her stuff, follows us, so wanted to,
Thanks, Tessa.
Tessa, I like a good Tessa.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Maybe
that's
not.
A good name. I like that name.
Maybe not Tesla, but Tessa. Anyways, all right, let's talk about Gene Hackman. I hope you're aware of that situation.
Yes, he died. That's crazy. Like, ooh, man.
But I don't buy into any of these conspiracy theories.
I don't think so either. Life is much simpler usually most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, the internet has blown up, right? Because apparently they were dead for days before. One of the dogs was dead, but the other was 2 others outside that were okay or something. Like, maybe they just offed themselves and took the nearest dog with them. Like, I don't know, but I don't think somebody. See, some conspiracy theorists are saying that it's related to the David Carradine.
No, it's not.
That it's that it's a part of the inner circle of Hollywood that takes out people. First off, no one's taking out Gene Hackman at 93 years old or whatever he was.
Right. Like, who we got to get rid of? This 93-year-old man no one's heard from in 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, he's the real threat in priorities. Like, conspiracy theories are just never true. They're just ridiculous when you think about them.
It's just, it's kind of like this whole comet thing. I don't know if you've been following that, where there's a comet that's apparently going to strike somewhere in the world. I think it's
actually
2030.
An asteroid.
Asteroid in 2032 or something. And at first it was like a 1.4% chance to hit us, and now it's like a 2.8% chance to hit us. And everyone's saying it's the end of the world. Like, just calm down. Like,
I mean, that's the kind of thing that I would we should be concerned about that. Like, that's not quite the same as Gene Hackman's death, but like a giant rock from outer space slamming into us at tens of thousands of miles an hour. Like, we should probably get working on that. Like, we really need. If I was in charge of that program, I'd be like, we should really figure this one out, guys. We really probably should figure this one out.
I just don't,
start working on that, right?
I mean, well, then I guess. God willing, we're still doing this podcast when that thing strikes us. We should go live on location wherever it's going to hit from.
No, because we'll be dead.
But we would. That's our golden ticket. That would be
To
our
be
claim
dead?
to fame.
Oh, this is the worst idea anyone has ever thought of. Like you put no thought into this actual idea. Let's go live on vacation from where the meteorite is going to hit.
Yeah,
we'll be dead. We'll really reap the rewards. You're going to be dead.
Here's the question: would you rather be in the zone where you possibly could get hit and have to worry extensively about it, or would you rather be broadcasting live with me as it hits, and our voices are the last thing anybody hears, before it hits Earth?
I'd rather live. Generally, whenever I'm faced with a situation where I would rather be dead or alive, I would always rather be alive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, money. I don't think I'd choose money over a lot, unless it was life changing. Anyway, all right. I think that's it. I was also going to talk about the Oscars, but
I don't care about the Oscars. I don't really care.
Well, I was looking at and I'm not up on a lot of the movies, but like I didn't know any. I knew one of the movies out of the 10 that are up for Best Picture.
I don't know. I cannot think of the last time that I probably actually saw a movie that was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. I don't know if it's ever, like, you'd have to go back to a pretty main, unless it was like Dune or Avengers, which, like, it'd have to be a pretty mainstream movie.
I was gonna say, what were the Avengers? They never got anything.
Give the power to the popular people, right? I think that, like, these snobs over there, your avant-garde and your excellent use of cinematography.
Wow.
No, dude, I want to see explosions.
Why do your voices go? You went very, like...
Oh, I don't know. I'm waking up in the morning and I got a lot more bass in my voice than I usually do.
Well, I don't know what else to say to that. So, you ready for...
I am. Oh, it is. I forgot. I completely forgot.
How do you forget? Yeah, what do you think? The 6 people out there that tune in specifically for this are like, how did he forget?
Wait, okay, so for John is getting all upset.
I'm not upset.
You're a little frustrated. You're drinking iced coffee, okay?
With ice cubes in it, by the way.
God, you gotta break out of this, man. You need to go, you gotta go punch a wall. Oh, I got wasted last night and broke some of my drywall from my flooded basement. I was like, if somebody's gonna mess up my basement, it's gonna be me.
Fuck
yeah. Down there kicking holes in the wall. Felt pretty good, I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay. So before John gets more flustered,
I'm not flustered
it's
at all.
time.
I love it.
The outlaw candle connoisseur rides again. I can never do the damn horse.
I gotta find
Candle
a
of the month.
hat. Gotta find a cowboy
You're not
hat
ready. You're not ready at all.
I am
just
ready.
Went
But
candle of the month, and you're
think,
sitting there looking around like you don't know.
I
what
don't have
year it is.
chaps. Like I'm not wearing a polo T-shirt.
So you shouldn't own chaps. There's no reason for you to own chaps.
I should have a nice bolo right here. Like
no,
I got nothing.
You're not. You can't. You can't pull off a bolo. You can't pull off. You can't wear any of that.
All right.
I could never wear a vest. I'm not a vest guy.
No, you could, because last weekend I was at a wedding where I got married, and some of the guys and ladies that were at my wedding brought you up about what you did at my wedding, where you left the dance floor and showed up, and all you were wearing was a vest.
Well, I had pants on.
Oh yeah, sorry, you had pants on.
Pants
but
on.
The top half.
But I'm not a vest guy. I couldn't just wear a vest. I couldn't just rock a vest outside.
You did that night, and you looked damn good.
Thank you. Proud of that. Start lifting.
Anyways, so candle of the month. True story about this one. This is probably a top 10 candle for me.
Whoa! Top 10 of the year or top 10 lifetime?
Ever. Wow. It's by
bold.
The company, Yankee Candle. I know, mainstream, whatever. They stopped making this candle. They brought it back this year. It's seasonal.
Wow.
And I might just get into it. So it's by Yankee Candle. Head over there now to get it because it's going to go pretty fast. And obviously we know what season it is. We're out of the love season, but we're into the lucky season. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's where you're going. I thought you were going springtime, but you're being more specific. You're making candle of the month about the theme of the month as opposed to just whatever willy-nilly plan you had that minute.
Yeah, I mean, what Irish Days and a couple of weeks from now, so you still have time to get this. So
my birthday's coming up.
31.
36.
Looking great. I don't know where that was going. So they brought it back, and Yankee Candle wants you to know they brought it back so much that even on the glass or on the sticker on the glass, it says returning favorite.
Ooh. But if it was a returning favorite, why'd you get rid of it in the first place? I feel a little fishy. This whole thing isn't adding up. I
actually did try to do a Google search, and somebody said it. There's all theory, conspiracy. I couldn't find an actual
candle conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, there is a large candle community out there.
Are you on chat rooms about candles?
I am. And hold on. I am, and I do participate on Reddit. As Nick said when we first started this episode, my masculinity, if I had any, when I was,
God, dude,
has
how do you
gone down to zero.
You're just on your chat room like 2 a.m. talking about candles.
This is your fault.
I can't believe this candle just. It's back, guys. It's back.
This is your fault. All right, I didn't have to show this side of me to anybody. I don't even remember how the hell we got doing this.
Probably should have kept it to yourself, honestly. But you're on chat rooms like talking about candles. No. What's your handle?
It doesn't matter. I'm on Reddit.
BigSmells.com. Are you Big Smells 1690?
No, I'm not actually. I'm not.
Just tell us what it is. Just give us.
No, I'm not, because I don't want people going out there and spamming me. And next thing I know, there's like, screen grabs of me saying things.
Last question about this. Did you create a login simply to talk about the candles, or did you have a login and then you happened to cross the candle forums and you're like, okay, I'll talk about candles?
Yeah. Yes, no, I had.
Do you post on other stuff, or is it only candles?
Some other stuff. It's more to monitor and look at other things, but if you go to the thread candles, which has like 70,000 followers, you can probably pick out who I am just by process of elimination. Anyways, so the candle of the month.
You have 70,000 followers talking about your candles?
No, there's 70,000 people on the Reddit thread. It's a very interactive community. Engaging community? That's the right thing. Anyways, so Yankee Candle's returning favorite is called Lucky Shamrock. And I looked at it right before we came on because they say in their description, limited quality. They've sold already 650 as of today. So
it doesn't really seem like very many, to be honest with you.
It's going fast.
For a nationwide company to sell 650, that doesn't really seem like very much.
But it's what you would think. It's zesty. It's green. It's refreshing. It's it was either that or I was just gonna say put some wax in an open Bud Light can and that could be the candle of the month. But,
ooh, I see what you did there. Now, okay, can we go back to this candle forum?
Not really, no. But
does it get heated? Does it ever get heated? Is there controversial? No. Is there controversial discussion in the candle community?
Only amongst like folks that identify themselves as like industry representatives. Who there are some threads on there, and all my candle people back me up here. Hold on, I'm waiting for you. Some people will say like this company stole the fragrance that I had, or they stole like that. Oh
man!
But I obviously don't get involved in that because I don't own a candle company. So.
Right, man.
Not yet, anyways.
Jesus. There's a whole candle debate, a lively candle debate happening on Reddit every time, and I don't.
All you have to do is just go to the Reddit thread candles.
How often do you check? I'm gonna go there and find you. I want to see how many. Okay, how many often do you check, and how many total comments do you think you've left in, let's say, the last year?
Well, this should tell you one thing. I'm not sure on comments. Probably less than 500. I mean, it's an entire year. I don't understand why this is a thing.
Because that's a lot. I don't think I've said 500 things to my children. Like, I don't think I've just told them like 500 things like just randomly.
Well, I mean, you know Reddit. I mean, sometimes things can get lost. They can get a little clunky, so I'll repost some things. You know, sometimes
Ooh, wait, are you making posts? Are you making posts too?
I have made posts. I'm not going to tell you the couple that I've made because if I do, you will obviously be able to pinpoint who I am. And it doesn't matter. Where are we going with this?
This is fascinating. Okay, so you've commented 500 times in the last year. I don't think I've ever commented 500 times on any social media. If you probably added up all the comments I've done on social media, it's probably less than 500. I'm just saying this sounds like you're very active. Sounds like you're very active. Are you a moderator? Are you a moderator?
No.
Have you been asked to be a moderator? You think you can work your way up to moderator?
I mean, I've been asked to do some things, but not that.
What have you been asked to do?
Well, I mean, there's some local candle groups too, like that are specific to regions. Well, I don't understand why this is so funny to you. Man.
It's funny because it's you.
I know.
It's like if anybody else did this, do what you like, man. Do exactly what you want. Like I just can't imagine this. Like you're just sitting in your dark basement, like 2 a.m. commenting, raging about the candles. Like, no way, that's the can. Like, ooh, have you ever posted your candle of the month stuff? Have you ever done it? Do you have the courage?
Candle.
Are you gonna post your candle of the month review? Do you think people would laugh at you?
I don't think I don't think I need to tell you about COTHM, all right? Don't go Reddit thread candles, subject COTM, profoundly pointless. Maybe you'll find something, who knows?
Ooh, okay. I got some investigation to do. Very good.
But yes, I check it multiple times a day. Well, because it's Reddit, man. It's one of my main sources of social media.
God. Right. I don't check my text messages from my wife multiple times a day.
Yeah, we all know you don't check
how local of the group do you go, right? Like, okay, so you go the nationwide group and you're in some local groups. We talking state level, we talking city, we talking neighborhood? Like how localized do you go in the candle community?
The Southeast Michigan candle lovers. Anyways.
Good for you, man. Find the thing you like and do what you like.
Yeah, man. I love candles, all right?
All right, dude. Yeah, man. Damn.
There's all kinds, everyone has their thing,
Okay. Yeah. Be passionate. I'm impressed by it.
Can we just move on to a top 5 that, hopefully I'll redeem myself?
Yeah, we can move on. All right. Man. Just to reiterate, John has had sex with a woman at least twice.
At least
twice.
There could be some women out there that are like, man, he seems like he's really in touch.
Wow, what if you get like candle groupies?
Emotions.
What if you get candle groupies?
I always wonder that if we had T-shirts that said candle
connoisseur.
I don't think that's a trademark. Maybe I'll patent it. The candle
maybe
connoisseur.
You should maybe you should spend a little bit less time listening to other people on the internet and a little bit more activity. Sounds like you're quite frankly a bigwig in the candle community, and what are you doing with it, right? Like you were given gold and you're not doing anything. You're just sitting around.
You're absolutely right. I am a candle influencer. You're right.
Right, and you're not doing anything with it.
I don't want to be a candle influencer.
No one does.
I hate that you make me do this.
Just go for it. All right, you ready?
Yeah, man. Just get off of candles, and I never thought I'd say that.
All right. Wow, Southeast Michigan. God, it went directional. It's not even just like you went directional. You didn't just go west. You didn't just go east. You went southeast.
Well, yeah, that's where.
You went two directional, which is one direction too far.
I see kind of what you did there. Maybe.
Yeah, right? Like you can be south, you can be north, but you can't be like southwest. You went too far. Okay, so our top 5 is top 5 movie characters we'd like to hang out with. I don't know why yours isn't I know what your number 1 is. It's probably the candle thing from Beauty and the Beast. The candelabra from Beauty and the Beast.
Luminaire?
Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That was pretty quick. What's your number 5?
I know who your number 1 is already.
No, you don't.
Before, yeah, I already know
don't.
who it's.
You don't.
I already know who it's going to be.
You don't.
All right, my number 5, and once again, this is a tough list. But I put Yoda as my number 5.
Oh, I thought about Yoda a lot, but I actually went Darth Vader for my number 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I went Darth Vader for my number 5 because, like, if you were just buddies with him, I think it'd be a great time. You wouldn't want to be on his bad side, but it'd be a great time, I think, to just, like, hang around Darth Vader, the second most powerful person in the universe.
I mean, I thought about the, Siths and Jedis, and I was like, Yoda wouldn't talk too much, and he would probably teach me something cool, and he would just be like, hey, we're going over here, and he would teleport me to wherever we were going. It would be a lot more fun than, like, a Sith, like, you did this wrong.
The bad guy is always probably more fun. Mm-hmm. Like, first of all, Force users can't just teleport. That's not how that works. Okay? No Force power. Maybe there is a Force power that allows teleportation, but not in canon. Certainly not in movie canons. We haven't seen it, okay? Let's not get into that, Star Wars, people.
I'm out. We're out.
Right. But, like, the problem with hanging out with Yoda, man, is you'd always be talking in a way you didn't know exactly what he was talking about.
Yeah, but
right. And if you're hanging out with Darth Vader, if you're hanging out with Darth Vader, he's got a lot of power, he's got a lot of money, he's got a lot of influence. There's going to be a lot of women around, and they're certainly not going to be looking at him. You're going to pick up a lot of residual.
Hanging out with Yoda would kind of be like hanging out with a super intelligent child, and it would be awesome. I think it'd be a great time.
Okay, I mean, it'd be nice, probably be fun. Grogu would be cool. All right, what's number 4?
Jeff, the Dude Lebowski.
Oh, that's a good one, man.
Yeah.
But the only thing with that is I would wonder, like, hey, man, can we actually just do something today? Can we accomplish something today?
No. I mean, he kind of accomplishes stuff in the movie by accident, but it's hilarious. It's good. It's good times.
I think I'd want to hang out more with Donnie. Because Donnie, at least, like, he's part of that group, but he's got a little bit more ambition. You can see he's kind of doing more stuff a little bit.
That's
like
fair.
The dude and Walter not really doing anything.
Well,
just wasting
fuck you,
their time.
Donnie, or what's the
You're out of your
thing
element.
about Donnie?
You're out of your element.
You're out here with Donnie.
My number 4 is Pikachu. Really, any of the Pokemon characters. I would hang out with the Pokemon, man. Just have an animal friend, cool powers, do what you want.
Okay, all right.
Would you rather have a dog or have Pikachu? Think about that.
You brought it back, but at first I was like,
brought it back.
Like, this guy's gonna make fun of me for my candle love, and he's gonna say he wants to hang out with Pikachu.
I'd hang out with Pikachu.
I mean,
Pikachu.
Okay. My number 3 is Ash from the Evil Dead franchise. He'd be fun
I thought
as
you were
hell.
gonna say okay.
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, but you got to be in, like, that's too scary of a situation, man.
Why? It'd be fun as hell.
Killing zombies or whatever. I've never actually seen that. I've only seen.
No, I'm not like talking about actually like just having beers with him, like hanging out on a day-to-day basis.
But you got to be in that environment. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll kick the shit out of him then.
My number 3 is Dumbledore. You don't want to hang out with Dumbledore, the most powerful wizard of his age, maybe one of the most powerful wizards of all time.
No, I don't want to hang out with any wizards because
doing magic.
Who knows?
Hey, Dumbledore, let's go to the Quidditch Cup. Like, all right, we'll be there in a second.
Like I said, who knows what kind of effed up crap they're gonna get you into.
Right, but Dumbledore's already prepared for it, man. That's why you don't want to hang out with Harry, because Harry's going to get you into a mess, but Dumbledore's going to clean it up.
Who do you think does better with the ladies?
Dumbledore? Well, I mean, Dumbledore's gay, but
he is?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. Good.
I don't think that was one of those things that, like, I don't think anybody knew, and then nobody really cared. But yeah.
Are you sure? Is that like a thing?
No, Dumbledore was, like, in love with Grindelwald.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But I mean, do what you want, Dumbledore.
Okay,
live your life.
I mean, sure, do. Man, this episode's been all over the place, huh?
Yeah, Dumbledore likes what he likes. Have fun however you want.
I'm not hating on him. You do you, man. My number 2, Batman.
Don't they think that'd be? Let's see. It'd be fun. I'd like to hang out with Bruce Wayne.
Sure,
I don't think I want to hang out
Bruce
with.
Wayne.
I don't think I want to hang out with Batman.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne. I feel like Bruce Wayne is just the amount of cool to where like he won't annoy the shit out of you, but he has all the money, he has all the fun cars, toys,
Yeah.
all the chicks. You know, because I was trying to think of like really famous like movie characters that would be fun to hang out with, and yeah, I think my number one's going to be pretty awesome. So
My number 2 is Totoro, from My Neighbor Totoro. Hanging out with a big magical whatever that thing is, man, that looks awesome. Just having fun all day, sleeping around. Be great.
I swear
Living
to God,
in the forest.
if your number one is
It's not. You won't get it. You will have no idea what my number 1 is. I'm going to blow you out of the water.
okay, I mean maybe mine. So my number one is Jordan Belfort from Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh.
Leo DiCaprio.
That's a real person, though. And he
It
went to
is.
prison.
He did go to prison, but by characters in the movies, Leo's portrayal of him would be my dude to hang out with. Can you imagine? I mean, you're probably going to prison or dying, but you would have a great time doing it.
I'm going completely the opposite direction of that. And my number 1 is Peter Gibbons from Office Space. We would just hang out doing nothing.
Okay.
Taking it easy.
No,
That's
man.
Peter Gibbons. What do you want to do today? Nothing. All right. Sounds great. Let's do that together.
He was on my list, like my honorable mention. He would be, I don't know, like if I was to now hang out with somebody, I would need like the Leo factor. You know what I mean? Like the craziness, like drugs, alcohol, women, fast cars. Although I'm going the speed limit, you know, all that other stuff.
Okay, I could see that in your 20s, but in your 30s, you just want to be hanging out with Peter Gibbons. Like, nah,
I don't disagree with you.
Let's take this one easy. All right, do you have anybody in your honorable mention?
Yeah, but I feel like they're all cliche. Like I have Han Solo because I feel like he'd be cool to hang out with.
Yeah, he's cool.
And looking on some lists, like I saw Indiana Jones on a lot of people's lists, but like I probably wouldn't put Indiana Jones on my list for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Let's see. I thought about putting him as my 1 or 2, but then I just left him off the list completely, and that's Jack Sparrow.
Oh, that would get annoying.
You think
It'd be cool
so?
for like a day.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't really want to do this. I'd like to take a shower at some point.
I feel like he might be fun. I put any of the Ghostbusters because I feel like they'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be kind of scary for me, but that'd be a fun time.
Bill Murray from Caddyshack.
Oh, you're not going to go with Al Zervik? I would go
No.
with Rodney Dangerfield's character. I'd hang out with him.
R.I.P. Rodney. Yeah, that's kind of it. I have some other ones, but they're not very good at all. Like Tony Montana, Tony Stark, you know, people like that.
Tony the Tiger? Any other Tonys?
No.
The only other one, so the other movie characters that I had, I went more kind of comic booky anime than John would go. But I had Nightcrawler because I'd want to be able to teleport around. Like you could get a lot of places. Somebody who could teleport pretty easily. And then I had Uncle Iroh from Avatar for some good wholesome life advice.
I don't even know what that means.
It's good wholesome life advice.
You know, I think we should end on some life advice from me.
Okay.
And that is embrace your inner self. And if you want to join the threads for candles, head over to Reddit and do so.